April is going to be epic, and I'm diving into two amazing events. First, I'll be reading my way through picture books for the Picture This Readathon, bringing back those childhood memories. Then, to celebrate old school April, I've got a nostalgic lineup of books, movies, TV shows, and activities that'll take me and you back to the good old days. It's going to be a month of nostalgia, fun, and everything retro. Let's jump in. Welcome back, friends and fellow bibliophiles. And for those of you who are new to my channel, hi, I'm Kat, and I'm excited to share my ambitious April plans with you. First, I want to share the picture books that I will be reading for the Picture This Readathon, which is hosted by two lovely ladies, Jack at Spread Book Joy and Shelley at Shelley Swearingen. This year, in remembrance of Alice at Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, who passed away last year unexpectedly and was a very sad time for the BookTube community, Jack and Shelley thought it would be fitting to create 6 prompts in honor of Alice because of her love of picture books and her support of the Picture This Readathon. The 6 prompts are Alice, Mystery, Dark, Cats, Giant, and Blue. For the prompt of Alice, you could choose a picture book that has Alice in the title, written by an author with the name Alice, or some variation of Alice like Allie or Allison. Also, you could choose a book that reminds you of Alice, and I took that route, and I chose one of her top 10 favorite children's picture books, and that book is We're Going on a Bear Hunt by Michael Rosen and Helen Oxenbury, which is about a father and his 4 children on an adventurous bear hunt. Alice loved mysteries, and for the mystery prompt, I chose a picture book with a collection of mystery stories being solved by a cat detective. I think Alice would have enjoyed reading these stories, and they come from Garfield's Tales of Mystery. Culprits beware! Detective Garfield is on the case in 5 action-packed mysteries, from a haunted amusement park to an overcrowded henhouse. If you know anything about Garfield, you know that these tales are going to be mysterious and amusing. The third prompt is Dark. Alice enjoyed reading books written and illustrated by John Klassen, whose work tends to be dark. So I have chosen The Three Billy Goats Gruff, retold by Mark Barnett and illustrated by John Klassen. Very excited to get to this book because it is a fairy tale. It's a Norwegian fairy tale about 3 goats and a troll. I've had this book on my shelf for a couple of years, and I admit it was a cover buy because I really do love the artwork on the cover and throughout the picture book. So I'm looking forward to reading my first John Klassen book. Alice loved her sweet cat, Harry, and I happen to love cats myself. They are my favorite animal. So for the cats prompt, I have decided to read 2 picture books. And the first one is celebrating a holiday that we'll be celebrating in April, and that is Easter. However, Bad Kitty does not like Easter. This is written and illustrated by Nick Bruhl. Let me tell you why Bad Kitty is so unhappy. Kitty doesn't want an Easter egg. Kitty wants the Easter egg. Kitty wants the golden egg, so she goes on the hunt. Look, Kitty, a blue egg. But Kitty doesn't want the blue egg. Look, Kitty, a purple egg. But Kitty doesn't want the purple egg. But then Kitty sees something round and golden. Will Kitty find the golden egg and turn this frown upside down? I hope so. My next picture book is called Itty Bitty Kitty Corn. This is by Shannon Hale and Luann Pham. Look how adorable. The eyes have glitter in it, so do her paws, as well as her little bow. She's so cute. I just want to scoop her up and hug on her. So let me tell you about this cute little kitty. Kitty thinks she might be a unicorn. She feels so perfectly unicorny. Nay, says Kitty. But when Unicorn clops over, sweeping his magnificent tail and neighing a mighty neigh, Kitty feels no bigger than a ball of lint. Can this unlikely pair embrace who they are and truly see one another? I hope so, because this little itty bitty kitty corn is just adorable, and I would hate to see her sad. The next prompt is giant, and that refers to Alice's giant bookshelf, and I have chosen The Giant King, written by Kathleen T. Pelly, illustrated by Maury J. Manning. This is a Scottish fable about the power of kindness. I picked up this picture book from the Friends of the Library store, I believe during the summertime. So I'm looking forward to reading it. Y'all know how much I love my folklore. The last prompt is blue, which was one of Alice's favorite colors, and I have chosen JoJo's Flying Sidekick, written and illustrated by Brian Pinkney. I had the pleasure of meeting Brian Pinkney back in 1997. And the reason I chose this book, it's one of two books that I bought that day and had Brian Pinkney sign, is because my son Barry was taking Taekwondo at the time. So there's the autograph. Just makes this book even more special. So let me tell you about JoJo. When Master Kim announces that JoJo is ready to take the test for her yellow belt promotion, butterflies start fluttering in her stomach. JoJo loves Taekwondo, but can she really do a perfect flying sidekick and break a board in two? And as if the test isn't enough, the creepy tree in JoJo's front yard is really starting to worry her. Sometimes JoJo thinks that tree will slip right through her window like a sneaky bandit. JoJo's granddaddy, her mom, and her friend PJ offer advice and words of wisdom, but ultimately JoJo discovers that she must rely on her own strength and grow in self-confidence to triumph in class and in life. So I'm really happy to reread this one. It's been quite a while since I read this one with my son. As you know, my oldest son is like 36 years old. So it's been quite a while, but looking forward to reading JoJo and all of the books that I have chosen for the Picture This Readathon. Now let me tell you about my plans for Old School April, which is a month-long nostalgia-thon created and hosted by my bestie Kelsey at Slime and Slashers and Nightmares and Nostalgia. I happen to be one of the co-hosts, and if you don't know anything about Old School April, please check out my announcement video with all kinds of information, with links to Kelsey's videos, who the co-hosts are for this event, as well as the reading, watching, and activity prompts, loads of information. This happens to be one of my favorite events of the year, and this April, I am planning to go ham for Old School April. For the readathon component of Old School April, I have a pile of possibilities, but there are 3 books in this pile that are priorities, and that is because 2 of them are for book clubs and 1 is a buddy read. So let's look at the 2 for the book clubs first. So for the Bookworm Club, which I co-host with my friend Alex at Frank Fiction, we are reading The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This is a romance, and it says, a lush cottagecore tale full of stolen spell books, unexpected friendships, sweet jams, and even sweeter love. Like a Hallmark rom-com full of mythical creatures and fueled by cinnamon rolls and magic, The Spell Shop will heal your heart and feed your soul. And Catherine Arden, who happens to be one of my favorite middle grade authors, wrote, reading this book was like sitting in the sun, watching bees in the foxgloves, a warm, peaceful delight of a novel. You can almost smell the jam and hear the ocean. I finished the book smiling. So I'm looking forward to this. This will be my first Sarah Beth Durst novel. And then for the nonfiction prompt, I have chosen Jane Austen's Garden, a Botanical Tour of the Classic Novels by Molly Williams and illustrated by Jessica Rue, because this is the selection for the Cozy Cottage Book Club. Look how pretty that cover is. This one says, join Professor and gardener Molly Williams on the spirited exploration of the parks, gardens, wildernesses, and hedgerows of Jane Austen's England. Learn about Regency-era landscape design, discover the botanical inspiration and symbolism at work in Austen's novels, and add historical flair to your own home and garden with do-it-yourself projects. So I think this one is going to be a good time. I love that the Cozy Cottage Book Club picks nonfiction books from time to time because I need to read more nonfiction in my life. And then as far as the buddy read goes, I am buddy reading with Carmen and Stormy at Storm Reads. We are reading the 4th book in the J.P. Beaumont series. It's a mystery and it's called Taking the Fifth. We had such a fun time for March Mystery Madness reading the first 3 books in the series that we have decided that we are going to continue reading, buddy reading, the entire series together over the course of the year. I want to mention that all of the picture books that I am reading for the Picture This Readathon can also count for Old School April because there is a picture book prompt. So the rest of the books in my pile are books that I'm hoping I can squeeze in throughout the month of April. And the first one is a classic mystery, and that is The Secret of Redgate Farm by Carolyn Keene. This is the 6th book in the Nancy Drew series. Then I am reading a Goosebumps book, and that is Deep Trouble. This is introducing Billy and Sheena Deep and their first adventure. The last middle grade book that I'm hoping to get to is called No Way Out. It is by Dan Pawlowski. This is the 3rd book in the Shadow House series, and this is counting for that eyeball prompt that is in the reading prompts. But, you know, Shadow House always wins, and these kids, are they going to make it out alive or not? And then I really am hoping to get to the reread of Where Are the Children by Mary Higgins Clark. This is one of my host recs for Old School April, and let me tell you a little bit about it. To escape the terrible secret in her past and the people who knew about it, Nancy Harmon changed her hair color and style, moved across the country to Cape Cod, and married Ray Eldridge, believing that at last she had begun a new life. 7 years have passed and she is happy with her home, her husband, and her 2 beautiful young children, Michael and Missy. Then one day, an article appears about a famous California murder trial, along with a picture of a woman who looks suspiciously like Nancy. That very morning, her 2 children mysteriously disappear from the yard. So I remember loving this because it was my introduction to Mary Higgins Clark. So very excited about all of the books that I have chosen. And like I said, I'm hoping I can get to all of them, but you know what my 3 priorities are. For the movie component, I thought it would be fun to pick 1 movie per prompt. There are 29 prompts. Therefore, I will be watching 29 movies, which means I'll be watching 1 movie a day if I want to get them all in. Is that possible? Not sure. Keep in mind that even though I'm assigning a movie to a prompt, the movies will count for multiple prompts, just like the books that I have chosen for the reading prompts. They will count for multiple reading prompts as well. That means multiple points for my team. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's my list. It's a long list. Clueless, directed by a woman, or a woman is the main character. I'm going with Big from 1988. It was directed by Penny Marshall, the fabulous Penny Marshall, who plays Laverne on Laverne and Shirley. For Donnie Darko, watch a weird movie. I have chosen Videodrome from 1983. This was directed by David Cronenberg. I've watched a couple of his films. Weird, but good. Space Jam, watch a movie featuring a sport or physical activity. And I have chosen The Cutting Edge from 1992. This is an ice skating movie, and it is one of Christine's recs. Homeward Bound, watch a movie featuring an animal or animals, and I am going to rewatch The Incredible Mr. Limpet from 1963. This stars Don Knotts. It's fantastic. It's part live action and part cartoon. Lots of fun. Pan's Labyrinth, watch a movie from a country outside of your own. I am watching or rewatching Nightbreed from 1990. It takes place in a hidden city called Midian in Alberta, Canada. This is one of the movies that Alex at the BookTube is watching, and since she's an honorary co-host, I'm counting that as her rec. For Grease, watch a musical. I'm going with Crybaby from 1990. That will also be a rewatch. This is also one of Kelly's recs. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Watch a sequel or remake. I want to watch Die Hard 2. This is from 1990. I watched Die Hard for my Christmas winter marathon, so I thought this would be perfect to watch part 2. For Say Anything, watch a romance. I'm going with Moonstruck from 1987. It stars Nick Cage. For popcorn, watch a movie released before 2006. I want to watch It Takes Two from 1995. I can't really remember if I've seen this one or not, but it's one of Kelsey's recs, so I figure this will be perfect. The Killer, watch an action thriller movie. I want to watch Mortal Kombat from 1995. I think I might have seen it with my son Barry, but this happens to be one of Elizabeth's recs. For Troll 2, watch a So Bad It's Good movie. I'm rewatching Reanimator from 1985. It is a zombie-ish kind of movie, and I know Zombie Awareness Month is next month. But you know what? I want to watch it. It is one of those movies that fits this category perfectly. It is a cult classic. Best in Show, watch a mockumentary or documentary. I want to rewatch Four Little Girls. This is from 1997. The director is Spike Lee. It is about four little girls who die in a bombing in Birmingham, Alabama, in the 60s. I've seen it a couple of times because I pair it with teaching The Watsons Go to Birmingham, 1963, and I think it's a really wonderful documentary. Well done. Deep Red, watch a giallo, and I'm gonna watch Deep Red from 1975. Pretty in Pink, watch a movie with a color in the title. I want to watch Devil in a Blue Dress from 1995. It stars Denzel Washington. I'm a fan of his, and I've never seen this movie. Beauty and the Beast, watch an animated movie. I'm going to go with The Last Unicorn from 1982. This also happens to be one of Amy's recs. Mrs. Doubtfire, watch a Robin Williams movie. I want to watch Awakenings from 1990. I've never seen it. Uncle Buck, watch a family-friendly or kids movie. I'm going to rewatch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids from 1989. This is a fun movie. I remember going to Universal to this ride, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, or it was a show, and my son Barry was young, and he thought he had been shrunk. I mean, he was like in first grade. But I think this is a fun movie. Have not seen it in ages, and this also happens to be one of Venus's recs. She's a fellow Scooby. Con Air, watch a Nick Cage movie. This is one of my host recs, and that is Valley Girl from 1983. It's a fantastic movie. If you've never seen it, I would highly recommend it. It is one of Nick Cage's first movies. I want to say it was his second movie he ever was in. For 3D glasses, watch a movie with blue or red on the movie poster. I'm going with Santa Sangria from 1989. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is one of Coral's rec, and the movie poster has red on it. The Breakfast Club, a movie with a school setting. I'm watching another Robin Williams film from 1989, Dead Poet Society. This is an awesome film. Saw it many years ago. Candyman, BIPOC cast or director. I am going with Tales from the Hood from 1995. The director is Rusty Cundiff. Another movie that has fond memories. My son was little, Barry, and he watched it, and there's it's an anthology, and one of the stories has these little dolls in it, and it freaked him out. I shouldn't laugh. It really is ironic that neither one of my boys like scary movies, and I happen to love them. But this also happens to be one of April's recs. Happy Birthday to Me, watch a movie released the year you were born. I want to watch The Oblong Box from 1969. That's the year I was born. It stars Vincent Price, and it is based on an Edgar Allan Poe short story. So very excited about that. Watership Down, a movie that scared you as a kid. I'm going with Phantasm from 1979. That movie still scares me. It just freaks me out. I don't like to even go into a mausoleum because when I do, I think about that film. It's terrible. Pleasantville, a black and white movie. I want to watch Curse of the Black Widow from 1977. For Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, watch a movie released in the 70s or earlier. I'm going with one from 1957. It's called The Giant Claw. It reminds me of these films I used to watch as a kid, black and white films like Invasion of the Body Snatchers or the Abbott Costello movies, Creature from the Black Lagoon. They used to show them on Sunday mornings around 11-ish, and I would always watch them. I'd watch some Shirley Temple, and then I'd also watch these like creature feature movies. Napoleon Dynamite, watch a comedy. I'm going with Grosse Pointe Blank from 1997. I don't think I've ever seen this film, and this happens to be one of Andrew's recs. For Close Encounters of the Third Kind, watch a sci-fi movie. I want to watch Life Force from 1985. Never seen it. It happens to be one of Katrina's recs. VHS tape, watch a host recommendation. I am going with Demonic Toys from 1992, and this is one of Cameron's recs. So looking forward to checking this out. I think it's going to be kind of creepy with all the toys. And then last but not least, horror. Watch a movie that could give you nightmares. I'm going with my own host rec, and that is Stir of Echoes from 1999. I really do like Kevin Bacon, and this is one of his films, and it is an underrated gem. So looking forward to revisiting it. So those are all of my movies that I have chosen. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try really hard to watch all 29 of them. For the activity component of Old School April, I am visiting Town Old School April, and I am planning to complete several of the prompts, especially the ones that have to do with food. There's a pizza prompt, there's snacks and beverages. I'm planning to attend watch parties on the Old School April Discord and attend sprints. I will also be hosting sprints throughout the month of April. I have designated my What's Up Wednesday sprints in celebration of Old School April. So if you attend those sprints, you will earn a point for your team. I'm also hoping to add some additional dates to the calendar as well. Kelsey gifted me 2 books for my birthday that are so amazing because they have to do with one of my favorite actors, and that is Nick Cage. She got me 2 activity books so I could use these for the crafting activity prompt. I have no idea what is entailed with these curveballs that are going to be announced every week. They're secret, they're mini challenges. They have me intrigued though, and I really hope that I can complete a couple of them. Back in the day, one of my favorite things to do was to go to the arcade and play video games. And I love playing Centipede, and I loved getting my name on the leaderboard. I was pretty good at it. And so for Old School April 2025, I would like to get my name on the leaderboard by winning some trophies. There's 4 trophies, and the first one is Raddus Bowler. In order to win this, you need to bowl a perfect game, complete every 6 Sad April challenge. That's 30 pictures by the end of April. 1 picture per day. Not sure if I'm going to be able to accomplish this because I have not been able to do that in the past. However, this is a wonderful photo challenge on Instagram hosted by April at Apple and Alchemy, and I'm going to try my best because I really do think the prompts are a lot of fun. The second trophy I'm going for is Large Marge, which is to read a book that is over 600 pages, and I'm going to try with Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky. He is the author of The Perks of Being a Wallflower. But Imaginary Friends, a very different type of book. This is a horror book. It is 705 pages. Let me tell you about it. Single mother Kate Reese is on the run. Determined to improve life for herself and her son Christopher, she flees an abusive relationship in the middle of the night with her child. Together, they find themselves drawn to the tight-knit community of Mill Grove, Pennsylvania. It's as far off the beaten track as they can get. Just one highway in, one highway out. At first, it seems like the perfect place to finally settle down. Then Christopher vanishes. For 6 long days, no one can find him until Christopher emerges from the woods at the edge of town, unharmed but not unchanged. He returns with a voice in his head only he can hear, with a mission only he can complete. Really looking forward to finally getting to this book. I've wanted to read it for quite some time. It is chunky, but I'm going to try my best to earn that large marge. I think the trophy that's going to be the easiest for me to win is going to be the Game Boy trophy, where you play at least 15 30-minute gaming sessions, either board games or video games. This is going to be a lot of fun for me. Kelsey and I usually have an old school April fun day and we play games, so that will help earn my trophy. And the last trophy has to do with watching a TV show, which I love watching TV shows and movies, and that is Beast Mode. This is where you watch or rewatch 2 or more full seasons of a show. And I have decided that I am going to watch, or rewatch actually, because it's one of my favorite TV shows, 2 seasons of TheX-Files. Y'all, that is going to be challenging because both seasons have about 23 to 24 episodes, and they're long episodes. So I'm probably going to have to watch at least 2 a day so that I can complete them by the end of April. But I'm up for the challenge. Like I said, I love TheX-Files. It's my favorite. Well, friends, as you can see, I have some epic plans for April. I am very, very excited about everything that I'll be reading, watching, and doing. For those of you who love picture books, you might want to consider joining the Picture This Readathon. For those of you that love nostalgia and love revisiting your childhood and your teenage years, you might want to consider joining Old School April. Old School April is a lot of fun. You have 4 teams that are very nostalgic that you can choose from. I'm repping the Scoobies because I love Scooby-Doo. It is one of my favorite cartoons from back in the day. I still love it today as an adult. I have left information for both events in the description box below, so you can check them both out. Picture This works really nicely. It pairs really well with Old School April, just saying. For those of you that are participating in Picture This or Old School April, what are you the most excited about this year? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by. And until our paths cross again, stay amazing and be adventurous. And go Team Scoobies.